May is New Zealand Music Month, and a bunch of Palmerston North musicians have got together to celebrate and bring out an all-original CD. The band is Blue Rain, and here is the album, Blue Rain NZ. And we have a likely bunch of lads here. There's Darren Lawson, Richard Gregory, and Eric G with the Lollipop. Hi Eric, how did you all get together?
Well, first of all, originally I met Darren through a radio jingle on 2XS.
Oh, the old 2XS.
Yeah, when it was 2XS.
Yes.
Back in the day, and Darren was on there. He actually did a jingle for them, and I did a jingle as well, and we both, well, he won it, and I think I came third or something like that, but we both got on the finals anyway, and I actually liked the sound of what he was doing. Heard he had, could hear he had a good voice and really good keyboard player, and at the time I didn't have a band, and I was like, well, wouldn't mind putting a group together, so I actually got hold of Mike West, and we all know who Mike West is, the morning DJ, and Mike gave me Darren's number and gave him a call, and basically that's where it all started from, really, with us lot. Yeah.
These were the days before the Privacy Act.
Yeah, exactly. That was in the good old days.
Yes.
And as for Richard, it was the opening of the Foxton windmill out there, and I was doing a bit of entertainment out there for them, and Bill Bodell at the time was out there doing a bit of music as well. And I was listening to some of my music, and I told him that I did a bit of original music and was looking for another singer, because Darren at that time had actually gone over to Canada. So it was sort of a big loss for me, because our voices together with the harmonies we used to get was like losing basically half of you. It's like losing a brother. So I heard Richard's CD from Bill, and I was so impressed. His voice was so impressive, very much like Robin Gibb's voice actually. And and then I did the same thing, really. I got Richard's number and rang him up. I got his one of his parents on the phone, and it took him a while to sort of pluck up the courage to come and see me, but because I live out in the country, he probably thought I was some hick guy out in the country. But one night he finally decided to come out, and and that's where that all started. And next thing you know, we were singing and doing gigs together.
Okay, you mentioned Robin Gibb, and both of you guys, Eric and Richard, were in a Bee Gees tribute band, and it might be topical to talk about that at the moment, because of the Robin Gibb has just come out of a coma, life-threatening situation, and is staying alive as far as we know.
Yeah, very sad.
Well, all of us are great Bee Gees fans. We've been singing them for years, and Eric and I were doing some gigs, and we did a few Bee Gees initially, and it got really quite good success. So we added a few songs and a few more songs until we had basically most of our gig was filled with doing Bee Gees songs. So we got to the point where we thought, well, let's do a Bee Gees tribute show, because we loved it. So we went to see the Madsen Bee Gees tribute show, and Eric did his falsetto, high falsetto, during the show, and Paul Madsen was like, wow. So he got Eric and myself to go backstage at halftime, and I started a joke for him backstage, and then when we went back out into the show, he made me sing his I Started a Joke for the show, and that got good praise too. And at that point, Eric and I knew we could pull it off, because we had got quite good success there. We just were hoping Darren would come back and join as Morris Gibb. But in the meantime, before Darren came back, we did a bit of a tour around New Zealand doing BG Fever. Yeah.
And how did that work out?
Oh, it was great. We had great fun, yeah.
We found a good Morris lookalike.
Oh, our Morris, we had people thinking it was the real Morris. He even had the same teeth. He had his teeth made as Morris Gibb.
We'll get to Darren in a moment. Just one about the high note.
Oh,
Who's going to do a high note?
What are you going to do?
You
Should be dancing, yeah. Well, a common thing when we used to do the Bee Gees show, at halftime, people would actually go, you're lip syncing, because no one can believe that you can actually hit the high notes like Barry Gibb.
So what is that high note that he hits?
Falsetto.
It is a falsetto.
Yeah, it's a falsetto note. So it's
chandelier shattering and all the rest of it.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Well, for people who maybe not familiar with vocals, maybe singers, people that don't sing, a lot of people wonder what falsetto is. And falsetto, you're not really using your natural voice. You're more using up in your head voice, your nose voice, You know, so your nasal passages, if your nasal passages are set up to do that type of thing, you can do it. If they ain't, it's a little bit hard. So not everyone can do falsetto. It's just one of those things you're either born with or you're not, really. So yeah, that's what it's all about. But quite often in the show, yeah, we would sort of get a little bit. I mean, it was actually a compliment that people would actually say things like that. You know, that you might be lip syncing, but of course we weren't. So we'd just take them backstage. Maybe when you went off to the loos at half time, and you'd sort of go in there dressed as Barry Gibb or Robin Gibb, and they'd be talking to you. And so you really can sing that high. Well, you want a demo, so we just rip out a note, something like, which is very high, which is not actually as high as we can get. I mean, that's not even as high as we can go.
I'm ready for the next one.
You want a higher one?
Except
So as for falsetto, that's the ranges you have to be able to get to be able to do the Bee Gees. And as you can see, we're not lip syncing. That's the real deal there. So.
Eric said we had a band together way back when, about 15 years ago, Energize, a very popular band, did a covers, actually did some Bee Gees too.
We did.
And that's when we realised that we had the voices to do the Bee Gees, funny enough. But Eric and I we had, and still do, that brother-type harmonies, and that was always why we were so popular. I went off to Canada, Eric found Richard, and funny enough, Richard had the other voice of the three Bee Gees. So in Canada, I had my own rock band in Calgary for a while, completely different side of music, but I always longed to sort of come back to New Zealand, settle back down again, and Eric and I literally kept in touch pretty much every few days since the whole time I was over there. And he was always saying to me, when are you going to come back? When are you going to come back? When are you going to come back? And he's telling me all about the fantastic Bee Gees show. And of course, I was just edging to come back to New Zealand. I finally did come back in 2003 and got the chance to fill in, as it were, for the lookalike Morris, because obviously I actually do sing live and play the keyboards, so it was a perfect thing for me to fill in and be the other Bee Gee, and it was exactly what we expected when we put the three voices together. There's literally nothing like it, especially at the moment in New Zealand music. I don't think there's many people, if any, at the moment doing the three-part male harmony sound that we get, and I think that's why our music is, well, hopefully so far, seems to be very popular, and people, every time they hear it, they can't believe that, A, we sing it all live, no lip-syncing, it's all original, and the harmonies we get, I don't think there's anyone doing these harmonies at the moment in New Zealand that we know of doing original music.
have you got any to give us an example of this three-part harmony you're talking about, or even give us an example of more Bee Gee voice?
Well, we could do New York Mine Disaster or Rock My World. During the show, as Eric mentioned, we used to get accused essentially of not singing, of lip syncing. So we decided to put in a guitar-only 3 or 4 songs in the middle of our gig to prove we were actually singing their songs. And this was one of those, to show the harmonies and so on.
In the event of something happening to me, there is something I would like you all to see. It's just a photograph of someone that I knew. Have you seen my wife, Mr. Jones? Do you know what it's like on the outside? Don't go talking too loud, you'll cause a landslide, Mr. Jones. I keep straining my ears to hear a sound. Maybe someone is digging underground. Or have they given up and all gone home to bed? Thinking those who once existed must be dead. Have you seen my wife, Mr. Jones? Do you know what it's like on the outside? Don't go talking too loud, you'll cause a landslide, Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones. Mr.
You even got the English type accents that they had in the before they went all American, and also the quaver.
Oh, you got to do the quaver. Yeah.
Basically, you got to be cold.
I'm so.
To be a good BG, you have to be cold.
Yeah.
So that translates directly to the Blue Rain tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess your influence. Oh, sorry. I guess your influences always translate to what you do musically when you write your own songs. I mean, whatever you were influenced by as a child or through the, through growing up or bands you've been in. I mean, let's face it, we're never going to be rap singers or hip hop singers. It's just not our style. It's
no Scandi death metal.
No, we're not death metal. So I mean, and there's nothing against all that because I mean, there's fans for every type of music, and we never want to put down anyone like that. So, but the music we do, I think, is going back to good melodies, good tunes you can sing along to. The philosophy of a great tune really is if I play it to you, and by the time you get to the chorus and you've learnt it by the end of the song, you've got that song in your head, and you go home at night and you can't get it out. That's a good song. So we're trying to write pop songs that are quick to learn and catchy little tunes.
So these are poppy, rocky, and catchy.
Poppy, rocky, yeah, they're a combination of many artists and a combination of sound-wise, like Little River Band, Bee Gees type style, Westlife, Eagles. So if you like that type of music, you probably like what we've got. If you're into the more modern sort of rap music or heavy metal, we're probably not really going to like us. But so we're trying to appeal to a different type of audience, I guess, because not many people are writing songs like that no more. Writing original music is really hard. I think it gives you a lot of satisfaction. Like when Tararua played our music video that we made, it was a sort of ad hoc homemade video, and we sent it into Tararua for an opinion, to see what they thought. We never thought they'd play it. We were absolutely astounded and absolutely rapt about it that someone liked it, And ever since then, it's like the effects sort of carried on because we're sort of getting offered other TV stations as well where we've sent our music and they've gone, really like the track, can you send us a video for it? So, there's quite a bit going on now. So when you get one thing, it tends to go on to the next. But the reward from doing original music to doing covers, like we've all played in bands and you get that buzz from the audience, you're up there doing your thing. But we're not making a cent out of what we've done, nothing. In fact, it's costing us, as you know. But it's not about that. It's about the enjoyment of, hey, actually someone's listening to something that we created from the bare bones. It was nothing. It was just a guitar and a vocal, and we've put all this stuff to it, and now it's a track, and people are fanning us on Facebook, Reverb Nation, Twitter, enjoying it, and YouTube. So that whole getting your music out there is the biggest thing, because we've stuck it in the drawer before. We've made CDs and stuck them in the drawer, and Richard and Darren both said to me, why is our music not getting out there? And sort of come to the opinion, well, hang on a minute, it's stuck in the drawer at home and no one's listening to it. So maybe we should start putting it out there, and that's what we've done. We've created a bit of a Facebook site, and we started putting our music out there for people to comment on. And if you think it's bad, tell us it's bad. If you think there's something we can improve on, tell us what to improve on, because we're eager to learn. You listen to your audience and you get a better reply, and then you can put something out that they like.
So how do people find you on Facebook?
Oh, you type in Blue Rain NZ. Simple. Type in Blue Rain NZ and we'll come up. Don't have to .com or anything. Just type it in. If you're on Facebook, type that in, and we're promoting New Zealand at the same time too.
Now I heard you guys have made #1 on Reverb Nation. What's Reverb Nation? Tell us about that.
Reverb Nation is a worldwide musicians website. Basically, you can go on there, you can register yourself as a musician, a band, whatever you want, put your homemade music online, and basically people from all over the world can go on there and listen to it for free, and basically they can leave comments, but it's rated, so you can see worldwide where you are actually in the standings in your genre. You know, you could be a pop artist or a rock artist or a classical musician, but you can actually see, based on how much you know, people like you, where you are in the standings from all over the world. Since we've been on there, I'm not sure what number we started off. It was when we,
very low.
yeah, it was like we were like, you know, 1,000 in the country or something when we first went on there under pop rock. We crept up to 50 something, and then we jumped all of a sudden to 20 something. We jumped to what was it, 4, and then next thing we knew, we were number 1. Now, as a challenge, we actually put ourselves in the Wellington area, because Palmerston, you know, hasn't got a lot of big music base that's in Reverb Nation. And we noticed a lot of people were actually registered from the Wellington area, so we wanted a challenge. So we put ourselves up against the Wellington region and all over the place. And next thing we knew, we were actually number 1 in the Wellington area under pop rock.
We're number 5. We're number 5 under pop music for the whole country. So what they have on Reverb Nation is little genres you can go into. You know, if you're a country artist, you can go in the country. You might be number 1 under country in your region all over the whole country. So, yeah, so with every little, you know, every artist, you can sort of go into your little regions, and that's where you get your points. But basically, what I think mainly it's plays, like if people play your music, because we haven't got like millions of fans or anything. We've got 500 and something fans, I think. But we've got about 800 plays. So obviously people are playing it. But see, it's the internet. It's the network marketing on the internet, because people aren't getting signed by record companies. A lot of artists aren't getting signed by record companies, so you got to make your own way. So the internet's a fantastic tool for network marketing, getting your music out there to the world, not just New Zealand, to the world. So you get a different opinion of it, and it's been a learning curve for us, because you know, I didn't know much about Facebook, didn't know much about Twitter, didn't know anything about, you know, really Reverb Nation until Darren told me. And so learning that the internet can be a good tool to get artists out there. So if you're an artist, get on the internet, get your music out there.
What song is on Reverb Nation?
Everything that's on this album, which...
Oh, the whole album is on?
Oh, yeah, basically, yes. and some older stuff we've done from years ago, yeah. So I think there's about, 12, 13 songs, something like, probably more, yeah. Between us, we've probably written 3 albums over the years, but some of the songs ain't probably up to it, you know, so we've put the best of the ones, you know, that we're sort of redoing as a group with the 3 of us instead of individuals up there. Yeah.
So it's Move Over, Kimbra?
Well, I don't know about that. No, but hey, let's face it, she was from Hamilton, you know. I watched a documentary on her, and she was as a little wee girl, and I want to be a pop star when I grow up, and good on her, you know, because she's got a great voice, and she did the same thing. She sort of put herself out there, and she got picked up by somebody, and whammo, next minute she's singing on a CD, you know, and she's world famous. So it can happen to anybody. I mean, you know.
Hopefully us.
Yeah, hopefully us. Yeah, hopefully we're not too old.
All right, May is Music Month. If you'd like to win yourself a copy of the Blue Rain NZ CD, what you have to do is find Blue Rain NZ on Facebook, like the page, and say that you saw this on Tararua TV. There are 3 discs to give away, and the boys in the band will contact the winners. How's that? For May Music Month.
That's awesome. Very good. Thank you very much.
I keep straining my ears to hear a sound. Maybe someone is digging underground. Or have they given up and all gone home to bed? Thinking those who once existed must be dead. Have you seen my wife?